All right, ladies and gentlemen, the sneak peek at the F-22 Raptor and the P-51D Mustang as a medium bomber from World War II. Paul Philipson at the controls of the B-25. This aircraft was delivered to the military on the 25th of February, 1941. It's the fourth production B-25 off the assembly line. Again, the oldest flying model of this aircraft. As a matter of fact, the General of the Army, Hap Arnold, actually used this aircraft as his own personal military aircraft during World War II. And believe it or not, Howard Hughes actually owned this aircraft for almost 20 years. 10 years rather, he owned this B-25. The B-25, Billy Mitchell, the last aircraft, as a matter of fact, named after an individual, General Billy Mitchell, who back in the 1920s envisioned how important aircraft would be in the future of military operations. Many generals and admirals at the time thought he was absolutely crazy, but he proved them absolutely correct in World War II. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, the low high-speed pass of the B-25. This aircraft served in every theater of operation during World War II, from the Aleutians to the South Pacific, to the China-Burma-India Theater, North Africa, the Mediterranean, and, of course, the European Theater of Operations. The B-25 became history maker when in April of 1942, 16 of these aircraft, flown by all-volunteer crews, took off the aircraft carrier Hornet. Only 6 months after Pearl Harbor, 16 land-based bombers took off an aircraft carrier on a one-way mission to bomb Japan. Just 6 months after Pearl Harbor, 16 of these aircraft appeared over the skies of the Japanese mainland. It's amazing to think, ladies and gentlemen, that these intrepid crews would be on this one-way mission. Even though they did not inflict major damage on the Japanese homeland, the morale boost was absolutely incredible. Up until that time, nothing but bad news had come out of Europe or the South Pacific as the Japanese rolled from island to island, almost seemingly unstoppable. But the mission, of course, was a complete success in what it was designed to do. As a matter of fact, it was not known until after World War II, but many Japanese squadrons were not deployed to forward bases because of that raid. They were kept on the Japanese home island to maintain security and protection. Therefore, we didn't have to face a lot of these in combat in the South Pacific. Once again, from your right, ladies and gentlemen, as history lives in the skies of New Jersey, as the B-25 Mitchell, mishap coming in from your right. The B-25, one of the most formidable medium bombers of World War II, serving from beginning to end. Again, this is one of the early versions. As a matter of fact, this is the oldest B-25 still flying in the world today. One of the ways you can kind of, if you know your history of this aircraft, you'll notice this aircraft has no tail turret, no tail gunner. It wasn't designed in the earlier models of the B-25. That would come later. But B-25s would be modified not only from the bombing mission, but also to ground attack. One version of the B-25, the B-25J solid nose, carried 8 50 caliber machine guns in the nose, 4 cheek guns, that's 4 50 calibers mounted on the side of the fuselage, and then the top turret can be turned around. So literally, you had 14 50 caliber machine guns pointed in one direction, and the firepower absolutely devastating. B-25s during World War II were modified. The B-25H model, modified with a 75mm cannon in the nose. That cannon had to be loaded 1 shell at a time. It was the biggest armament ever carried by an aircraft during World War II. All right, get your cameras ready for another beautiful flyby from your left. The B-25 Here she comes. Listen to the sights and sounds of history, ladies and gentlemen. The B-25 Mitchell. This aircraft, of course, was highly modified to be used by General Hap Arnold as his personal aircraft. The bomb bay doors were sealed. Beds were actually built inside the bomb bay. Extra seats in the back. It was designed as a transport aircraft for him to use, and he used it for a year between 1943 and 1944. Hap Arnold was the leader of the Army forces during World War II, the Army Air Corps. During World War II, of course, there was no Air Force. The Air Force was not an individual service at the time. That wouldn't happen until 1947. The Army Air Corps, as it was called during World War II. Here he comes back to land. From your right, another beautiful look at this legendary aircraft, the B-25. Later versions of the B-25 not only featured the tail gunner, but two side gunners, also with 50 caliber machine guns on the side of the fuselage and a top turret gunner. B-25 served proudly again in every theater of operation during World War II. Incredible to see these aircraft still flying today. Hard to believe, over 70 years ago, again, this aircraft was delivered to the military even before Pearl Harbor in February of 1941.